Hey there, fantasy owners. LTC Fantasy here. Not sure if you're chiming in watching via YouTube or listening via podcast, but really do appreciate the watch or listen no matter how you're streaming the episode. Before we get started, do want to mention we do have a partnership with 247clash.com. Link is down in the description there. It's basically a pools type player versus player fantasy game that's pretty much made winnable for anyone there. So if you do go to www.247clash.com, at the top of the homepage you'll see a how to play link. It's a quick 50-second video, explains the game a little bit better than I can, and if you do decide to sign up and make a deposit, do use referral code LTC, as it will help us out behind the scenes and hopefully you start winning some cash. Do note it is for Canadian residents only. That might change in the future, but for right now it is for Canadian residents only. Today's our week 22 weekend ads episode, starting to get into the home stretch here, so we're going to break down this weekend schedule and suggest some players to hopefully help strengthen your roster as you make the final push for the wins in your league there. Some things to note: your typical light nights and heavy nights. Friday there's only 4 games, Saturday 13 games, Sunday there's 7 games there. So we will focus on Friday and Sunday as those are the lightest nights there. We will also cover Saturday teams that play either Friday and Saturday or Saturday and Sunday. That way if you do add a player that plays Saturday, hopefully you can get them in your lineup and get 2 games out of them. So we will cover Vegas first as they play Sunday only this weekend. Then we will cover 5 teams that get nice amount of teams that play both Friday and Sunday, that get both light nights in there. That's probably your biggest advantage. Then we will cover teams that play Friday and Saturday. And then we'll finish with teams that play Saturday and Sunday there. So basically, we'll get right into it. Some Vegas options for you. Remember, they do play Sunday only this weekend. And on the back end, possibly look at Braden McNabb, owned in 30% of Yahoo leagues, playing second pairing for the Knights there. And he has 2 points his last 9 games, so not a lot of offense. But in those 9 games, he has 22 hits and 33 blocks in there. So basically, as alluded to, little to no offense there. The value is in the hits and blocks department, so you could stream them in some formats and get some value out of them. Up front for Vegas, maybe look at William Karlsson, listed as center left winger, owned in 24% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, second power play unit, and he has 4 points in a 3-game point streak, and in those 3 games, he's also +4, 10 shots on goal, 3 hits, and 4 blocks in there. He's on a little roll and could be a decent option on a light night this weekend. Another one up front is Riley Smith. He's listed as left winger, right winger, only owned in 45% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, but up on the top power play unit there. And he currently has 6 points in a 5-game point streak. I'm recording this on Tuesday night. I think he extended it to 6. That game's still going on. He's +4 in those 5 games, couple power play points, 11 shots on goal, and 3 blocks in there. He's been heating back up. He was on quite a cold stretch there for a while, so he should be a good option if he is available for you. Before we get into the next segment, do want to ask, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. We're trying to grow it, hopefully get the word out there. And if you're listening via podcast, please give us a 5-star review, as that helps show up on other people's homepages and hopefully get the word out that way as well. So now we'll look at some D-men that play both Friday and Sunday, so you're getting both light nights with these guys. Over in Anaheim, look at Cam Fowler, owned in 20% of Yahoo leagues, playing top pairing, top power play unit, and he has 13 points his last 12 games, a couple points on the power play, also 18 blocks in those 12 games. So he's been having pretty good offense for a while now. Should be a good streamer, especially with having both light nights. Over in Columbus, maybe look at Nick Blankenberg, Available everywhere, 0% owned, playing second pairing, second power play unit, and he has 3 points the last 5 games, couple of those coming on the power play, also thrown 9 hits and 5 blocks in those 5 games. He is hit or miss, so there definitely is risky there, but in a real deep league, he could turn out to be an okay option for you. Another one in Columbus is Adam Boqvist, owned in 8% of Yahoo leagues, playing third pairing, top power play unit there, and he has 8 points his last 11 games, half of those points, 4 of those have been on the power play there, and 17 blocks in those 11 games. He gets you a decent amount of offense there and should be a solid streamer in scoring leagues. Over in Washington, maybe look at Rasmus Sandin, owned in 46% of Yahoo leagues, playing top line, top power play unit for the Capitals there, and he has 8 points in just his last 4 games. In those 4 games, he's also +6, couple power play points, also thrown 8 hits and 4 blocks in there. He's been loving the opportunity he's getting with the Capitals there, and should be a great option if he is available in your leagues. Another one in Washington maybe look at is Trevor Van Riemsdyk, owned in 2% of Yahoo leagues, playing top pairing second power play unit, and he has 5 points the last 7 games. In those 7 games, +9, so really nice plus minus there. 24 shots on goal and 14 blocks in there. He's been on a decent roll, and he could help you out in a deeper Cats league this weekend. Now we'll move along to some forwards that play both Friday and Sunday, so getting both light nights with these folks too. Start off in Anaheim again. Look at Mason McTavish, listed as center left winger, owned in 21% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, top power play unit, and he's put up 8 points in the last 7 games and also +4 in there. It's pretty good being a plus player on a Ducks team. So he's on a roll, and he does have talent there, so he should be a good streaming option for your scoring leagues. Another one in Anaheim is Jakob Silfverberg, listed as a right winger, owned in 2% of Yahoo leagues, playing third line, second power play unit, and he has 7 points his last 9 games. Also +5, another plus player in Anaheim there over the last little bit, not for the season, but anyways, also a couple of power play points in there. He's been decent of late and should be an okay option for your deeper leagues. Over in Buffalo, maybe look at Dylan Cousins, listed as a center, owned in 62% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, top power play unit, and he's put up 9 points his last 9 games. In those 9 games, also has 31 shots on goal and 6 blocks in there. He is a bit streaky of late, but overall he's had a pretty good season, so he should be a good option if he is available for you. Over in Columbus, maybe look at Jack Roslovic, listed as a center, owned in 4% of Yahoo leagues, playing third line, second power play unit, and he has 8 points his last 11 games, one of them being on the power play there, with 22 shots on goal and 10 blocks in those 11 games. He's streaky, but he has been fairly decent of late there, so he could work in your deep leagues. Another one in Columbus is Kent Johnson, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 5% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, second power play unit there. He's put up 4 points the last 5 games. Couple of those points coming on the power play. And in those 5 games also has 10 shots on goal and 3 blocks in there. He's been on and off, but he is on a small roll of late there, so he could bring value in your real deep leagues. Over in St. Louis, maybe look at Robert Thomas, listed as center right winger, owned in 58% of Yahoo leagues, playing top line, second power play unit. Currently has 7 points in a 5-game point streak there. One of them being on the power play with 9 shots on goal. Also 49 face-off wins. Been winning a lot of draws there. He's been really hot right now, and basically stream him if he is available. Another one in St. Louis is Jacob Vrana, listed as a left winger, owned in 17% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, top power play unit. He has 2 goals the last 3 games, one of them being on the power play, and 8 shots on goal in those 3 games. He is really streaky, so he is very risky, but he is getting opportunity in the top 6. So in a very, very deep league, he is an option. Another one in St. Louis is Braden Shen, listed as center left winger, owned in 54% of Yahoo leagues, playing third line, top power play unit, and he's put up 5 points the last 6 games, couple of those being on the power play, with 15 hits and 7 blocks in there. He's been better of late and should be an alright option if he is available. Over in Washington, maybe look at Dylan Strome, listed as center right winger, owned in 19% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, second power play unit, and he has 10 points the last 7 games. In those 7 games, he's +7, has 13 shots on goal and 4 blocks. He's been really hot right now, and he should bring some value of stream this weekend. Another one in Washington, Sonny Milano, listed as left winger, right winger, only owned in 1% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line for the Capitals there. He's put up 6 points the last 7 games. In those 7 games, also +7, and one of those points was on the power play. He is on a small roll there, and he could work out for you in deeper scoring leagues. Another one in Washington's TJ Oshie, listed as center right winger, owned in 34% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line up on the top power play unit there. He's put up 10 points the last 8 games, 3 of those points being on the power play with 15 shots on goal and 18 hits in those 8 games. He's been hot for a bit there and could be a solid option for you this weekend. Now we'll move along to some D-men that play both Friday and Saturday there. Start off in Carolina. Look at Jacob Slavin, owned in 24% of Yahoo leagues, playing top pairing there. And he has 5 points the last 8 games with 22 shots on goal and 10 blocks in those 8 games. He's been okay of late, and he could work in deeper leagues for you this weekend and bring you some value. Over in Philly, maybe look at Rasmus Ristolainen, owned in 6% of Yahoo leagues, playing second pairing for the Flyers there. And he has 2 points the last 4 games, so half point per game there, with 10 hits and 5 blocks in those 4 games. His offense is on and off there, but he gets you hits and blocks, so he should be an okay option in some formats. Moving along to some forwards that play both Friday and Saturday. Over in Carolina, look at Teuvo Teravainen, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 58% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, top power play unit, and he's put up 7 points the last 11 games. A couple of those points being on the power play and 20 shots on goal in those 11 games there. He's okay, not great of late there, but with 2 games this weekend, you could get some value out of him. Over in Philly, look at Scott Lawton, listed as center left winger, owned in 21% of Yahoo leagues, playing top line, top power play unit. He's put up 5 points the last 10 games, so not the greatest, half point per game. But in those 10 games, he has 34 shots on goal, 19 hits, and 15 blocks. His offense is down recently as Philly struggles to score for quite a while there, but he is on the top line and top power play unit. He will get you some hits and blocks, so he could work in some formats this weekend. Over in Toronto, maybe look at David Kampf, listed as a center, only owned in 1% of Yahoo leagues, playing the fourth line for the Maple Leafs there. He's getting more ice time than a typical fourth liner, though, of late there. And he's put up 7 points the last 11 games and has 15 hits in those 11 games. He's been decent recently with limited opportunity. He does get a little more ice time than your typical fourth liner, but still fairly limited there. He could work out in real deep leagues, though, for you. Going over to some D-men that play Saturday and Sunday. Start off in Minnesota. Look at John Klingberg, owned in 44% of Yahoo leagues, playing third pairing top power play unit, and he has 3 points in his last couple of games there, plus 2 in those couple of games and 1 point on the power play. Seems to be starting to get settled in Minnesota there and should be a decent streamer for scoring leagues. Over in Jersey, look at Damon Severson, owned in 18% of Yahoo leagues, playing third pairing, second power play unit. He's put up 5 points the last 7 games. A couple of those points being on the power play, also has 12 blocks in those 7 games. He's been on a decent roll of late, and he should help in some formats for you. Over in Vancouver, maybe look at Tyler Myers, owned in 2% of Yahoo leagues, playing second pairing for Vancouver there. And he has a couple of points his last 4 games. In those 4 games, also thrown 5 hits, 12 blocks. So gets you a lot of blocks, especially of late there. He's not known for his offense, so definitely don't count on it there. But he will get you hits and blocks overall there. So he could be an okay option in a deeper Cats league. Over in Winnipeg, maybe look at Nate Schmidt, owned in 1% of Yahoo leagues, playing third pairing, second power play unit. He's put up points in 4 straight games now. And in those 4 games, he has 8 shots on goal, is +4, also has 6 blocks. He's hot at the moment. He has been very cold too, but hot at the moment anyways. So he could be an option in your deeper leagues. Finish it off with some forwards that play both Saturday and Sunday. Start off in Boston. Maybe look at David Krejci, listed as a center, owned in 29% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, second power play unit. He's put up 8 points his last 10 games, so nice amount of offense. Plus 5 in those 10 games and 20 shots on goal. He's been having a decent overall offensive season there, be an alright streamer this weekend. Another one in Boston's Charlie Coyle, listed as a center, owned in 9% of Yahoo leagues. He plays third line there, and he has 5 points his last 5 games, and in those 5 games he's plus 4, also thrown 9 hits there. He's on a nice little roll and could be an okay streaming option in your deeper leagues. Another one in Boston's Pavel Zacha, listed as center, left winger, and right winger, owned in 21% of Yahoo leagues. Plays second line, second power play unit, and he has 6 points the last 7 games, and in those 7 games he's also plus 5. He's been decent most of the year, and with him being listed as center, left winger, right winger, there's more flexibility where you might be able to fit him in on a heavier night like Saturday there, so he should be a solid streaming option for you. Over in Minnesota, maybe look at Ryan Hartman, listed as center, right winger, owned in 38% of Yahoo leagues. Playing top line, top power play unit. And he's put up 10 points the last 12 games. And in those 12 games, he's plus 8, has 36 shots on goal, 13 hits, and 13 blocks there. He's been decent for a bit there and should be an alright streaming option. Another one in Minnesota, there's Marcus Foligno, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 11% of Yahoo leagues. Playing third line, second power play unit, and he has 4 points his last 5 games. And in those 5 games, he's plus 3, 17 hits, definitely throws the body around, 3 blocks in there. He did leave in the middle of last game with an injury there, so do check his status to make sure he is available for this weekend. But if he is available, he will be an okay option in a deeper Cats league. Over in Nashville, look at Thomas Novak, listed as a center, only owned in 6% of Yahoo leagues. Playing top line, top power play unit for the Preds there. He has 16 points in his last 12 games. I'm recording this on Tuesday. Did see that he got 1 goal so far tonight, so even a little bit better. Of those 16 points, 4 were on the power play and 7 blocks in those 12 games. He's been hot for a little bit here and getting opportunity with the Preds, so he should be a solid streaming option for you this weekend. Another one in Nashville, maybe look at Cody Glass, listed as center right winger, owned in 2% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, top power play unit. He's put up 7 points his last 12 games, a couple of those being on the power play, also 7 blocks, so definitely blocks quite a few shots for a forward there. He's been okay for a bit, and he should be an okay streaming option in your deeper leagues. Over in New Jersey, maybe look at Thomas Tatar, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 18% of Yahoo leagues, playing top line, second power play unit there. And he's put up 8 points his last 9 games, and in those 9 games, he's plus 7, has 19 shots on goal. He's a bit streaky, but overall numbers okay of late there, so little risky, but could work out in your favor. Another one in New Jersey's Erik Haula, listed as center left winger, owned in 22% of Yahoo leagues, playing third line, second power play unit. He's put up 7 points the last 7 games, 4 of those 7 points being on the power play, so really nice production on the power play of late, with 13 shots on goal and 8 hits in those 7 games. He's streaky, but he is on a small roll right now, so in your deep leagues, he might be worth taking a chance on. Over in Tampa, maybe look at Alex Killorn, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 35% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, top power play unit, and he has 8 points his last 7 games. 3 of those 8 points being on the power play there, and in those 7 games also has 20 shots on goal and 7 hits in there. He's on a pretty good roll right now and should be a good streaming option for you this weekend. Another one in Tampa is Brandon Hagel, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 58% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, second power play unit. And he's put up 6 points his last 5 games, plus 4 in there with 7 shots on goal, 6 hits, and 3 blocks. He's also on a small little roll right now, but overall it's been a good season and he should be an alright option for you this weekend. Over in Vancouver, maybe look at Brock Besser, listed as a right winger, owned in 41% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing third line, second power play unit. He's put up 7 points his last 10 games. 4 of those being on the power play, so still knows how to work a power play. 19 shots on goal, 6 blocks. He's been streaky overall this season, but decent recently, and he should be an okay option for you. Another one in Vancouver is Anthony Beauvillier, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 16% of Yahoo leagues, playing top line, top power play unit. He's put up 10 points his last 11 games. In those 11 games, also fired 27 shots on goal. He's been consistent since being traded to Vancouver there, so he should be a decent, safe streaming option for you. Another one in Vancouver is Andrei Kuzmenko, listed as left winger, right winger, up to 56% owned, playing top line, top power player unit. He's put up 15 points in the last 12 games, definitely scoring. Couple points on the power play, also firing the puck a bit more, 28 shots on goal in those 12 games. He's been getting points regularly there and should be an awesome option, especially in scoring leagues if he is available. Going over to Winnipeg, maybe look at Vladislav Nemestikov, listed as center left winger, owned in 4% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, second power play unit. He's put up 5 points the last 5 games. In those 5 games, he's also +3. He's thrown 8 hits and 4 blocks in there. He's in the top 6-4 now anyways, and producing, so he should be an okay streamer in your deeper leagues. Another one in Winnipeg's Blake Wheeler, listed as a right winger, owned in 45% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, top power play unit, and he has 5 points the last 5 games, couple of those being on the power play there. Overall, he's had a good season and should be a good option for scoring leagues if he is available. Last one in Winnipeg's Nino Niederreiter, listed as a left winger, owned in 30% of Yahoo leagues, playing top line, top power play unit. He has points in 7 straight games right now, a couple of those being on the power play with 14 shots on goal and 12 hits. He's been hot for the last while now, so he'll be a solid streamer if you can get him on your roster there. That's it for today's episode. If you're watching via YouTube, remember to hit like, hit subscribe, remember the notification bell. If you're listening via podcast, remember to give us a 5-star review. That helps spread the word. And don't forget to check out www.247clash.com. If you do sign up, do use referral code LTC, as that'll help us out there. And good luck down the home stretch there, fantasy owners, and we'll talk to you soon.